Welcome to our malicious compliance, where we share stories of people conforming to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. First story. Teach you something you don't know. Sure. Going through school, I got involved with a volunteer first aid brigade, though a friend named, who I will call Jim, yes, the same Jim from my previous story. Turns out the bully was a volunteer first aider. As a result, I became one of the youngest medical first responders in the country due to how much work I put in. I was trained to use the AED, shown how IVs worked, not used them, hook up people to oxygen tanks, and other stuff that you wouldn't be taught in a regular first aid course. I was age 14 and helped quite a few people as a result of my training and volunteer work. Can't say that I officially saved any lives though, but I digress. Shortly after getting out of high school, I got a job as a first aid instructor for a short while, though admittedly my age, I believe 17 to 18 at the time, didn't really inspire much confidence in my trainees, as most were much older than me. In many cases, I was assigned to renew people's certificates rather than actually teaching. In other cases, my class didn't really take me seriously due to my age. I didn't really mind this, as I was passionate about it at the time, having the knowledge that what I am teaching could possibly save people's lives. In this particular class, my clients were a class of high school students who needed their basic first aid for their classes. I don't recall what for exactly. This is a 5 to 6 hour course that ends with multiple choice test. Easy money. This was at the high school I went to, and surprise of surprises, this was a teacher I didn't particularly enjoy having. Not as bad as Mrs. Grum from my last story, we still got along for the most part, but her way of teaching was awkward. It's a little difficult to describe without being in her class personally. She always acted as though the students knew all the answers, but were too shy to speak. Even if a student said they didn't know, she would say things like it's okay to answer, nobody is judging, and stuff like that. As I was not much older than the students, they weren't listening to me. There was one group of students that kept shouting, "Tell us something we don't know." I know, the basic first aid course, at least at this time, was repeating the same thing over and over again until you're brainwashed to repeat it. But show some respect. Teacher, of course, no help. During the break, the teacher took me aside and told me to teach the students something they didn't know. A lot of the basic first aid is common knowledge and common sense. You're holding back. You know a lot more than what you are teaching. Show the students you know more than them. Okay, sure. I talked to the principal of the school, who I was in good terms with, about what the teacher said, and the students, and with his and the master instructor's permission, I added in a little-known module in the handbook to the lesson. When the students come back in, I start to talk. Some of you expressed that you want me to teach you something you don't know. Normally, at this point, I would show you a video about asthma, but as I am sure everyone knows about it, I have gotten special permission to change the lesson. Everyone, please turn to module 28 in the textbook. The students complied, and a few gasps and chuckles echoed through the room. The teacher doubled over laughing, losing her own composure as well. So, admittedly, I will be teaching this directly from the instructor's handbook, as I have never taught this module personally. We are going to be starting with a video. The class then proceeded to watch a 7-minute video on how to perform emergency childbirth. The video, fortunately, wasn't graphic, but certainly informative. Afterwards, I called the students that had been going teach us something we don't know to come to front and demonstrate the proper technique, using one of the CPR dummy as mother and a head as the baby. Finally, we discussed how to take care of the placenta and how to administer ongoing care. After the module, the students were extremely attentive, to say the least. Now that I have taught you something you don't know, how about we get through the rest of the lesson without any more interruptions? The class complied, and no one interrupted me the rest of the session. Despite the malicious compliance, I didn't get in any trouble for it and continued to teach the classes for this school first aid until I let my instructor's certification expire. The next time I went in, the teacher warned the students that I would teach them something they didn't want to know if they interrupted me. And that, dear reader, is the time I taught a class of high schoolers how to perform emergency childbirth. I doubt I would ever get away with doing something like this now, but I will always remember this moment. Second story. Oh, I'll clean the oven. Many years ago, a day after I finished moving out of my first apartment, my landlord called me up to say that I would not be getting my security deposit back because I had not cleaned the oven. I didn't want to lose that $100, so I asked if I could come back and clean it. They said it had to be cleaned by X date, so I agreed that it would happen. On X day, I show up ready to clean the oven only to open the door and see that they had, just that day, revarnished the parquet flooring in the apartment. I called the landlord and explained my predicament, and they insisted that if the oven wasn't clean, I lost the deposit. Cue malicious compliance. I tied my shoes on tight and slowly walked across the sticky varnish, leaving footprints with every step. It took me 30 minutes to clean the oven, and the varnish fumes burned my eyes and lungs, but I got that oven sparkling. The next day, I got a call from the superintendent of the building yelling at me that I ruined the floor and that the new tenants were supposed to move in that day. He yelled that it would cost $400 to fix and that they had to delay the tenant move in on order for it to dry. I calmly relayed the fact that I had asked the landlord about it and was told that unless that oven was clean, I lost my cash. He apologized and said he was going to have some choice words for the landlord. Luckily, I had already dropped off my keys and got my deposit back. Third story. Put my hair up. Okay, my uncle, whom is my guardian, is very strict on what he expects. I am a female, so he decides that I must conform to the little girl stereotype. I'm 13. The fact that I am incredibly tomboyish helps this happen. The cast. EU is equal to entitled uncle, and me is me. EU, go put your hair up, you're a little girl, and you need to look the part. Me, but why? I'm perfectly okay with my hair down. EU, well, I'm not. Go put it up. You're a little girl. You need to look pretty. So I did exactly what he asked. I found the most boy-like hat I had. I put on my oversized sweater, my combat boots, and a bandana. I pulled my hair through the opening in the back where you adjust it, and walked out to face him. I will never forget the horrified look on his face when I walked out looking more like a guy than before. He didn't say anything, but kept giving me side glares like he was on the verge of wringing my neck. All I could say is I put my hair up. Fourth story. Hair up for class? Sure, when I was younger, 12F, in grade 7, I was told by all of my teachers that I had to have my hair tied up. It was really stupid, as they required my hair tied up, even for classes like math where we would just sit there. In retaliation, I cut off almost all of my hair, a foot long, up to my ears, and kept it that short for the rest of the year. Every time the teachers said, "Girls, please tie your hair up," I would usually loudly say, "But miss, my hair can't be tied up." Thankfully, after this year, the school changed their policies, and hair being tied up wasn't required, even in pay. And for those wondering, I grew out my hair again, and it's longer than ever. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.